And welcome back to... Whoa, we're starting immediately. Welcome back to PlayFrame, everybody. We are still playing Just Shapes and Beats here with Simon, the developer. And we have some more questions. I'm going to try to ask some more from Twitter this time, because it's very distracting when you're being attacked by...
This level in particular is really like one of the end levels.
It's a difficult one. I like it, though. So yeah, I'm going to try to... Shoot. Okay. I'm going to try to like hold my phone and not die.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I can talk about this level a little bit.
Yeah, please do.
This one really felt like the 80s.
Yes.
So I'm just like, okay, 80s, what should I put? I have to put those lines over there.
That grid, yeah.
So what I actually did is... opened up YouTube and started Kung Fury, and went to that place when he goes to internet. I was like, okay, and I stopped the frame and just like copy paste what they did. You know? So yeah,
that's smart.
I stole art. Whoopsie. Yeah, but so I started with that and then tried to. I always wanted to make like a signature per level, and this one was the 80s music. Wow.
This is a good pattern. Well done.
I actually stole that from another game.
I have a guess which one.
Yeah, right. I think it's Undertale, right?
I think so. Yeah. This is a good thing to steal. That's good inspiration.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I have so much things to tell.
What are some of your Actually, let me ask the Twitter version of this question first, because some folks had somebody asked a very related question.
I have to talk about Undertale and the cavern too. I spoke about the cavern, but
yeah. Ooh. So Caloguru asked, what do you like better, Super Hexagon or Beat Hazard?
I haven't played Beat Hazard. So
I haven't got to play that one yet either, but I apparently need to.
It has to be Super Hexagon. Oopsie.
What are some of your other favorite rhythm games?
I'm surprisingly not that much into rhythm games.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. I mean, Super Hexagon isn't really a rhythm game, right?
Yeah,
it's not something that you tap on the music. I mean, it depends on how you define rhythm game, but to me, like, a rhythm game is you have to tap on the music. I like Runner. Runner was really good.
Yeah, Runner's good.
I liked it. But yeah, I didn't want to, with Just Shapes and Beats, I didn't want to make it tapping on the music because I know that some people cannot really play those games, you know, because they're not really good at it, and it turns off a lot of people saying that, oh, I'm not really into a rhythm game.
Sure.
So and I wanted something that I can play with my kids. Like it's always one of my my goal. So that's why it's like very simple mechanic, one button, and that's it.
That makes sense. What was involved in getting, like, so we talked about getting the rights to Mortal Kombat music, which is still amazing. What was involved in getting like contacting artists like Cubby here to get access to music?
Mike contacted them. Mike made the magic happen, basically.
Mike, you magician.
He's a magician. I love him so much. But yeah, Cubby is actually a fan who came to our booth at one of the packs saying, like, do you know what Cubby? I said no. So he's like, yeah, you should really check it out.
That's awesome.
And yeah, he wrote Cubby on not a credit card, but like a business card.
Yeah.
And I kept it. And one day I was like, I want to try it out. And then yeah, I really like the music. I really like the music, especially the thing that made me pick Cubby in the first place was the song not Cascade. Cascade is this one.
Yeah.
It was formed by Glacier.
Ooh, yes.
That's the Game Over song.
Oh,
you know, when you die and it goes like dun, 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 dun. So that I listened to the song. That was my soundtrack when I was working on a game, actually.
Oh, cool.
And when I was seeing that, I was like, oh, I actually see like an uplifting song there. That would be a nice Game Over song.
Yeah.
So I tried with that. I made that and I really liked it. But inside the album was a Cascade as well. So I listened to the album on my workstation like way too much. And this one, I always, like, when I was listening to this one, I always saw like fireworks in my head. So at one point I was like, hey, I want to try it out.
I love it.
But yeah, for licensing, like, basically what happened is I go to SoundCloud or YouTube and just randomly listen to a lot of songs. As I said earlier, whoa, I saw a little bug here. Nobody noticed except me, but yeah.
Yep.
Or, you know, I would buy a compilation from Monster Cat and just like on my running session or gym, whatever, I just listen to those and discover other songs. And then I create the levels and then we contact the artist, basically.
Nice. So you can use the level as kind of like a pitch.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good idea. I mean, like it's an upfront work investment, but still, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I wish I could do that with Undertale music. Oh man, I would love to do that.
Oh, that would be great.
I would love. Maybe not, because everybody wants to license Undertale music. Right?
Oh yeah.
So I think that it was hard to try to do it, but maybe now, since if fans keep tweeting at Toby Fox,
fans go tweet at Toby Fox.
do your thing, internet. Yeah, but yeah, I would love it. Like, again, I have like lots of different songs that shape and pattern that I would love to do with Undertale music.
That'd be super cool. I would enjoy playing that. So like every game project is a big learning experience. Like at the end of each one of them, you always kind of look back on them retrospectively and feel like there's a lot that you want to you'd have done differently now that you know the answers to all the problems. What was like at the end of this? What was like the biggest lesson takeaway for you?
Oh my god.
Not to ask you big questions in the middle of an obstacle course.
No,
but
I'm thinking it's a good question actually. The big takeaway from this, cheat code. Oh,
that's really good.
yeah,
Nitro fun.
That's what I thought about in Game Master actually, like how I present the enemies and everything. Biggest takeaway. Well, it's our first console game. It's gonna be a boring answer, but the biggest thing that we learned was the marketing of the game.
Oh, yeah?
So it's not really constructing the game, but it still feels like it's still something that indies have to work on.
No, it's crucial.
That's very important, since we're used to making Flash games for the past like 10 years, with Flash game was the complete opposite. You just put it out there, and every website was, I was hosting your game, so they have more content and more user to their website.
Yeah.
So it was just like creating viral games, because you just make one game on Newground, and then you have like 10 other websites just stealing not stealing, but just like downloading the Swift from Newground to put it on their website, so you end up having your game hosted like everywhere. So it's just like zero marketing effort, right? It's a dream,
I'm glad you pronounce it Swift. I've never known what the actual way to say it is, but that's always what I guessed.
I guess we all guess it, but yeah. But for this one, trying to create hype and build a hype, and then trying to use that hype. Oh my god!
Okay. Yep.
use that hype to tell everyone about the game afterwards. Say, hey, now it's out and everything. It was definitely a learning process. Because one thing that if I could go back in time and say, hey, you should not do that, was to talk about the game way too soon. Because it was like 4 years ago. And we won awards, we got like articles and stuff like that. Oh, cool friends.
Cool friends.
We had a lot of attention, but that was 4 years ago. And then when we kind of released, the most media outlet didn't really talk about us because they did already like a lot of time.
Yeah.
So we kind of missed the ball on this one. So, but yeah, it was like, we know how to build games, but to sell games, that's a different kind of art.
It really is.
That's another craft entirely. I know that Z-Franks made a video once saying that there's the art of creating the thing that you do and selling the thing that you do. Those are two different things,
Yeah.
And you have to be good at both or hire somebody who is. So that level, I have to say, full disclosure, is too hard. So a lot of people like quit on Cool Friend, or I know that 8-bit drummer Jared played, and he was like, he told me like, what happened, Lash? Like, why something happened? Like, what broke you? Why did you do this? Like, why were you so mean? But yeah, like this one is like, especially this section here is a little bit too hard.
This section's pretty difficult. I'll admit.
And,
died a few times.
And
and died again.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
And this part of it here, like, there's only warning on the first end, and then there's no more warning on the left side. So there's nothing, because I always want to tell the player, hey, something's coming up, and then if you get hit, it's your fault. But it's very difficult to make it happen. Well,
Okay.
like this, for example, it's like right in your face.
Oh, right. That's right. It's coming on the side.
Yeah, but it's always like go left, go right, go left, go right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oops.
And that part in particular, I saw so many streamers just like what, and just like jumping on it.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, for me, I had like 3 rules to when I was creating the levels. The first one was it has to be visually attractive. It has to be visually beautiful.
Job well done on that front.
Thank you so much. Second was it has to be synced with the music, and third it has to be playable. So it came third, you know, in my kind of made up hierarchy. But yeah, it was very important for me to make like a show first, so you get to play a show.
Yeah.
So but then like sometimes you have crazy ideas like, oh, something that like this could happen or whatever, but then you have to warn the player in advance. But by warning player in advance, you create artifact, like more artifact on the screen, and it has to be minimal. Like, so it was very difficult to try to make the warning fit with the music as well, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, it was my hardest creative process of any game I ever made. Yeah, because so those saw that we saw in Cool Threads earlier. Okay. I knew that the saw will fit well with the music. It goes like,
Yeah,
you know.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so it has to punch you in the face. But I forgot to put the warnings to just say, hey, get out there. And since I'm way too good at the game now, you know, we never noticed, and the entire team didn't notice actually.
Sure. That I see that happen a lot in development. It's something that the developers just get used to while testing.
Yeah, totally.
That they just don't even think about. So that actually, you're mentioning of like patterns and time to music is something that actually somebody had asked about. Oddwell was asking, like, how harder was it, or like what was involved in pinpointing the rhythm sync for these animations? Like, was it timeline coded, or were you having to just kind of eyeball it?
I made a level editor for the game, basically.
Oh, okay. Oh dear.
Okay.
I was ill positioned.
Yeah, I showed that on my stream a couple of times.
Cool.
How do I make the level editor? But I actually created like an entire application where I can listen to the music, I go back in time and just like, okay, listen to that part over and over. And what I did was when I created an enemy, I could map the enemy to a key on a keyboard. Ooh. So, for example, the big bars that comes in and just smash you in the face.
Yeah.
I linked that to spacebar. And then I could just listen to the music and just like smash spacebar on a keyboard.
That's awesome.
And then I can randomize the position and say like, okay, I just wanted this one to be left, and randomize the parameter of the enemies. And if I want it to be static, to be always at the same place, I can say, okay, this one is not randomized, or I can send messages. Or the boss, for example, I could send messages to the boss to say, okay, now you should punch, now you should dance, now you should do X, Y, and Z.
That's
and then
cool.
I manually place them on the level editor, on the music. So everything is manually done.
That's awesome. What a good tool.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I have to link to these streams so people can see some of this stuff.
I feel like I'm plugging myself over
No,
and over.
please
Sorry.
do. Like, no, I appreciate it. That's half the reason I bring people on this, is just to talk about the cool stuff they do. So yeah, no, I'll try to get a link to those streams down in the description so y'all can check it out. I'm gonna be checking it out. Heck. Let's see here. Let's try to find another question without dying. Let's. Such a good level.
That was the very last level I did, and I was so tired of making levels. So this part of it here, I made it like in 15 minutes because it was like Friday. And it was the last level in my series of like 7 level in the, like one level a day for a week.
Yeah.
And I was to that part, I had like crazy ideas, and was like, you know what? No, I want to get done with it. So I just threw a bunch of stuff on the screen. And like, let's call it a day. I'm so done with that.
I understand completely. It's still quite playable, I think.
Yeah, that level too. Like when we were entering the heist, you know, just like going through the structure and everything. That part was like 3 times longer. So I built the entire thing. I was like, oh, you're gonna go there, there, and there. And then I realized that when I put that in the game, the music length was not long enough for the camera to scroll the entire thing. So I had to cut like 2/3 of the to make it playable. You know.
Yeah.
So
So it goes. So one person has a question here that I'm going to ask a lead into at first. Do you, and it may not be anything that you can or want to talk about at this time, like, do you have any kind of future plans or ideas for Just Shapes and Beats?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
are you
totally.
ready to leave it be for a while, or is this something you'd love to come back to someday?
Oh yeah, totally. Well, after the release, I spent like 2 months of vacation. I went with my wife and my kids. We went to Europe. So and I worked on another project entirely, like a very simple thing, just to work on something else.
Yeah, it's a nice palate cleanser. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I cannot not work, and my wife knows that, because even on vacation, I still ended up working like 3 hours a day at
Sure.
least while visiting, Spain and. But it was just fun to create something from scratch and just like have fun with the whole project. So I did that. It may or may not release in one day, but at least it was a creative break.
Yeah.
But now I want to go back on the Ships and Beats because the game is so easily scalable, right?
That's true.
I mean, you can just like pick another music, another artist, create the level, and voila.
Yeah.
I don't need to create new stories and like huge thing. I can just like pop out new content very easily. So I don't know how much I can say. But I'm definitely gonna work on it more this year and next year as well. DLC are coming out. A lot of people are asking me DLC. I thought DLC was frowned upon. I thought it was like, oh, you made DLC, or maybe just only day one DLC. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on the how it's done, I guess. But
Yeah.
no, I am super happy to hear that you're doing more of this
yeah.
game.
Yeah,
More
and-
of this game sounds great to me.
Yeah, with the DLC, we want to not gonna promise anything, but we want to make new stories. Probably not as big as the main story. I don't know, but
Sure, yeah.
I think that the story part, even though you don't really play the story, like the main, I said, the main meal or the steak of the game. The beef is the levels, right?
Sure.
But to me, it was very important to have like a contrast between the levels and to make it like a relaxed feeling between the two, and
absolutely.
also a reason for the player to continue. Like, why do you play all these levels? You want to see where the game is going. You want to see the story unfolds. So to me, it was very important to have a story part and not just like, okay, this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 30, because otherwise, like, people will be bleeding like way too much chiptune, So all that to say that I really want to make like new stories. Probably gonna involve the little character as well.
Yay.
The little helicopter and boats and everything. Also, fun fact: the 3 friends are based on my kid.
Are they? Aw.
Yes. So even their attitude, their characteristic, they're based on my 3 kids, and they know it. They're like, "Oh, I'm the boat. I'm the helicopter."
That's wonderful. Also wonderful. The bounce sort of twitch on this boss character here throughout this level is like my favorite thing. Like, I can just watch that on loop all day.
I'm really happy that the Pac-Man part really paid off.
It's so good.
Oh, this part, like I think 1 week before the release, there was no warnings on this part over here. The star-shaped thing, there was no warning, and it was way more difficult. And since it was early in the game, we decided to make it a little bit easier.
That's a good idea. I agree that I did not expect, again, buying this, that the story mode was going to be something that like grabbed me nearly as much, but it is like a very strong component of this game, I think. So yeah, like I'm excited for whatever more you plan to do with this down the road.
Yeah, I'm actually very happy that people like the story mode as well, because I was showing only the levels in the convention, so
Yeah.
I knew that people liked it, but I was secretly working ninja style on the story mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, they like what they see at the convention, but will they like the story mode? Am I doing something completely different? And will they like it? They like the levels, but they don't know where I want to go with the game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that they liked it, because I feel like in watching crowds' faces at most cons, like people were smiling throughout, but as soon as they see the boss guy in Long Live the New Fresh, that like brings on a whole different kind of enjoyment.
Yeah.
And like that, that was the thing that like completely sold me on the game as soon as I saw it. So I'm not surprised that people got into it.
Yeah, to me it's more of not more of an unfolding experience, but I told earlier that I always saw this game as a single player experience,
Yeah.
And to me it was very important to make a game that unfolds. And you think it's only this, and then it unfolds and it's like it punches you in the face. I call that punch it in the face, by the way.
That's a good term.
Breaking the expectation.
Yeah.
And it started up with the title of the game. It's called Just Shapes and Beats for a reason. It's just I wanted the people to say like, oh, okay, I get it. It's just shapes and beats, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, there's a boss. Okay. Oh, there's a story. What? There's characters. What's going on? You know. So then you just like hook the player, and that's a good way to tell the player, to give an incentive to the player to continue playing.
Yeah.
Like, where is this going?
So, Oh No wants to ask, are there any particular tricks or hiding spots people came up with that surprised you? I'm dying really bad as I try to read.
So good, so good. Yeah, there was one with Paper Doll, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, nobody on the team saw it. Like, there's for example, Mortal Kombat. If you go on the top left and keep dashing, you'll be good. Which
good to know.
I'll go back to Mortal Kombat later, but I feel like it's been like the 7th time I said I go back on this later. I have so much to talk about.
No, I do the same thing. It's okay.
But yeah, Paper Doll, there's like blocks constructing on the right side of the screen and then flies on the left. And I played randomly online once, and everybody was going on the right side behind the blocks before it strikes you. It was
Clever.
like, whoops, I never saw that happening. Whoopsie.
Oh, well.
Yeah, whoops, it happened.
Whoopsie. Adam Jensen Harris wants to know, do you have like canon names for these characters? Like in your head?
I actually don't.
You don't?
No, I actually don't, but yeah, I don't have it. Like internally, I'm gonna break the magic here, but hey, internally, the big boss, we just called it the Bowser guy because it was the big boss, you know.
Yeah.
We're just like, you know, Bowser guy.
Bowser guy.
But
like
we don't have any names because I don't know. It's a non-word. It's a 0-word story.
Yeah.
So
it's just a shape.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. If I named them, I feel like I could break the magic. Like someone named the boss Captain Doritos because in New Game he was eating a bunch of triangles and his daughter said, "Oh, he's eating the Doritos." We're like,
Captain
okay. Although I cannot say that, like I cannot put that in a game.
Sure,
Captain
sure.
Doritos. I don't think I can license that. Although, you know, we've been able to license Mortal Kombat, maybe
That's true.
Doritos. Mike, I'm gonna put Mike on it.
Mike, work your magic.
Yeah, but yeah, I know, and I like that they are nameless characters, so people online can name them how they want.
Yeah. There is something to leaving some negative space for the fan base to like actually come up with some of that stuff themselves.
Yeah, I didn't thought about any good idea. I was like, nah, I'm gonna name it. Oh, that boss. That was another song. The song is called Final Boss. And I was like, okay, that everything is, you know, it's reading itself, you know.
Yeah.
It's writing itself.
It's true.
So,
Was there did you kind of like intend originally that okay, who's the artist who does this? Nitrofun. Yeah, Nitrofun. You were gonna be just boss theme guy, or did that just happen kind of on its own?
Well, since it was, I listened to the song and it was like Final Boss. I was like, oh, that's interesting, and I like that I like when the name of the song fits with the story. So Close to Me was a big part of it, or Destroyed at the end, Final Boss. What else? New Game as well.
Yep.
Because everything is unfolded again. So I like to put that little extra effort in. Maybe nobody noticed, but I'm like, I noticed, so that's good enough.
It felt right enough that I think people may not have like had to notice. It just felt like, oh, this just feels natural.
Yeah. So I don't want, yeah, and the music really feel as well, you know, because it's a final boss and it feels really like adventurous. Like, oh, we're gonna get this, right?
Yeah.
We made so good progress so far. We're gonna end it up, you know. So it was kind of a happy song, and for a final boss, so it was perfect because I wanted the player to go back and just like get punched in the face again when he go nuts.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Well, I guess your audience already.
Yes, they've probably seen it.
Yeah, already seen everything.
I certainly hope so. I'm curious how you, how did the idea for the game over screen and the it's not over recovery, which I think is like a really nice tangible touch, so much better than just hit continue and go.
Yeah.
Like how did that idea come about?
Good idea. Well, it all started with I always wanted to punch the player in the face, like I said earlier. So I really wanted to make like a no-word experience. So I just said like it's over, and the thing that with the it's over theme was very important because of the big payback at the end.
Yeah.
You know? Because I knew it was like till it's over song. I knew I wanted to do that. So I wanted to play with the till it's over thing. I wanted also to have like a kind of a word signature. So something, you know, we can print on a T-shirt and like, oh, I know what you're talking about. You know?
It's clever.
So, but how it came out, yeah, I just wanted to create like a very sad moment. I'm a big fan of punishing the player with only the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I just, sorry, I keep focusing on this. So just like. To me, stopping the music is a punishment enough. Like especially, well, this level is obviously a Super Hexagon inspired game.
I love that subtle nod.
Oh, by the way, like a tangent, this part here was supposed to be exactly like Super Hexagon. So Hexagon was coming from the center and was looking
neat.
exactly. So I did that, and then it felt like I was ripping off the game. It felt unoriginal. It felt like I was missing ideas. I was like, okay. I wanted to make a big tribute because I'm a big fan of Super Hexagon, but it came out wrong. So yeah, the game over thing. I wanted to create like a sad moment, and I wanted the player to feel good, you know. But I like to make, how can I say that? When you're dead and you want to come back and play more, the first thing that the player will do is smash button. It's like, nah, come on, you know. So I said I want to do a mechanic around it. So if I, if I just make nothing happening on the screen, if I make nothing happening on the screen, the player will intentionally just like, well, nothing is happening. What he's gonna do is gonna smash the only button that he's using since the beginning. You know, that's what he's gonna do.
It's smart.
And then I just wanted like, okay, I'm gonna notice that and say like, no, it's not over, no, and then go back and punch the player in the face while he was smashing button. God. So the very first time you see the game over screen, you are forced, quote unquote, to see the entire cutscene of the game over song and everything. But actually, if you just smash button very fast on that, I'm gonna make like a faster iteration of it. Because like the 7th time you've seen it, you don't want to see the cutscene again. You know, you just want to go back and that's it. So the first time you're forced to see the actual cutscene, but then you know you also have to respect the player and say, okay, yeah, you want to come back. I don't want to make you see the same movie over and over again.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good thinking.
Yeah, I like to. There's a lot. You don't need to put words on the screen. There's so much you can convey without using words. And yeah, like I'm a big fan of non-word tutorial. So that's why the tutorial actually there's no words in it. You know, but you still. See the dash mechanic and how it involves, and if you're stuck, there's actually like animation of little birds that come through and show you the dash mechanic if you're stuck there, but there's no like press A to dash, you know. I really wanted to make no word experience.
That's smart. All right, so I got a few more questions I can probably ask you, but we've been going a bit longer. Are you good for doing one more little short one real quick?
Of course.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back with one more episode with Simon talking about just talking more about the development of this. Hope y'all are enjoying this. Goodbye.
See you soon.